Northwest Arkansas. It's Bird's Eye View, Real Estate in Northwest Arkansas. And I'm your host, Tara Limbird. My co-host today is not here. We've had some crazy cold weather and he is out and about putting out fires, I should say, even though it may feel like 26 below zero. There's still, real estate never sleeps. Real estate never freezes over. It just keeps on keeping on. But again, my name is Tara Limbird with Limbird Real Estate Group. So I'm flying solo today, so just bear with me just a little bit. But just want to kind of walk you through things. If you're here in Arkansas or anywhere in the South, we've all been blasted with extremely cold temperatures. I think last night woke up, my actual screen on my phone said, "Good morning." Well, good morning. Look down. It is negative 14, I believe, is the actual temperature, and feels 26 below zero. So I'm like, well, good morning back to you, but this is not a good morning. So I'd much rather have some warmer temperatures. But that being said, unfortunately, there are people in the South and in other parts of the country that are not used to these cold temperatures. So we're actually using so much energy just trying to keep the heaters going and go. I mean, everything's running 24/7 right now trying to keep up. So they're having rolling blackouts across the country, trying to control some of these blackouts just to restore some of the energy. I think it was in Texas, maybe, probably in Oklahoma as well. Some of the windmills that generate the clean energy have actually frozen. So that's kind of crazy too. So it's just a lot of cold temperatures, and I definitely think I'm ready for spring and summer. And it feels like it may take till spring to actually thaw out and melt all the snow and all the things that we are just not used to. So anyway, but again, you're listening to Bird's Eye View, Real Estate Northwest Arkansas. We have a great topic today. It may be February, it may be cold, but the market is red hot, especially if you're a seller. But that also can present some challenges. So we're going to talk about, if you are a seller right now, what are some of the things that you need to think about, and what are some of the things that you need to find solutions for in order to make that next step. Because even though the market's hot, prices are at an all-time high, a lot of sellers are sitting on their hands thinking that they have some potential issues to work out and they don't know the solution. So we're going to talk about some of those solutions today. As you guys know, I'll often talk about a positive moment on the team and in real estate in general. So today's positive moment is brought to you by Harbor Closing Company. And one of the things that our positive moment is a lot of people, and we talk about this a lot, the public sees all realtors as the same. And I totally get it. And that's shame on us. We don't do a very good job of differentiating ourselves. And especially that becomes true when someone's thinking about selling a home, which we're going to be talking about, like I mentioned earlier. But on a for sale by owner, why do I need an agent? You just told me the market's red hot. I don't need you. Well, there's still a lot of things that can happen. And one of the things is right now it may not be a matter of can I sell my home or not. It's a matter of can I get the top dollar? Can I negotiate to find another place to live? Because what if I'm ended up homeless? There's not a lot of houses to choose from. So when we looked back, 2020 was actually a pretty hot market, as we know, in real estate, despite COVID, despite everything else. And when we went back and added up every listing that we had and how much it sold for above the list price. So, for example, if you had a $200,000 house and it sold for $205,000, then that's $5,000 above the list price, obviously. When we added it up, every house that we sold over the list price over $475,000. Again, let me say it one more time. That's worth repeating. $475,000 above the list price that we collected cumulatively for our clients. So that's the thing you're thinking about. Believe me, I'm all about, people tell me all the time that I was born in the wrong era. I save every time a piece of mail comes and it has an extra envelope, I save that envelope. I save everything. And so I get what it's like to try to save money and get the best bang for your buck. But are you saving any money if you don't hire a realtor when you could have worked with someone who helped all their sellers together get over almost $500,000 more total for their investment? So don't be completely short-sighted. I get it. I'm right there with you. I'd like to save a buck. But sometimes, what's that saying? Don't trip over pennies to save a nickel, or I don't nickel save, whatever that is. You know what I'm talking about. That's the thing to keep in mind. So anyway, that was really cool. I just wanted to share that with you. As you guys also know, we love to do a team member shout out. We've got one of the best teams around. And Metro Property Management today is sponsoring our team member shout out, and that is to John Howard. We haven't spoken about John yet on our radio show and podcast, but John is an Arkansas boy himself. Now, he may not be from Northwest Arkansas. But he's still right here in Arkansas. He came over from a mountain home about 6 months to a year ago, I guess it was. Had a 30-plus year career in real estate and decided to move closer to his friends, to his family, and those grandbabies. We all know what the grandparents will do for the grandbabies. And so he moved over here with his wife, and they're having a good time. And just getting to know the area, being closer to family, and still being in real estate. So we're very lucky to be able to have somebody with that much experience here on our team. So shout out John Howard. All right. Again, guys, I'm Tara Limbird with Bird's Eye View Real Estate in Northwest Arkansas. And wanted to also talk a little bit today about vision. Vision's super important. We often don't give it a lot of time because we're like, it just seems like there are other things that are more pressing. But vision is very important. Vision sets the stage of where you're going. And we all know where we're right in the moment, where we are, but it's very important to figure out what's next. What's a year down the road? What's 2 years down the road? What's 10 years down the road? And but anyway, so we kind of put together, we have a lot of information on our vision, but one of the things that we recognized that was important to our team to set the vision of where we're going. So we like to call ourselves the Ivy League of real estate. And what we mean by that is we feel like we have the smartest realtors because we have the most educated realtors. And believe me, I know all about that. A lot of what makes somebody intelligent and their experience is just boots on the ground. And we've got that too. But we do have 30% of realtors have college degrees. That's kind of the overall statistics with the National Association of Realtors. 70% of our team does have a college degree. Now, to me, it's just the more you know, kind of like the little NBC, and the more you know, I can just picture now the little rainbow that goes across. But just the more you know, the more we can help, the more we can relate to other people. But we also, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is being able to deliver an elevated experience. I will say those dang millennials that we all like to gripe about, the one thing I feel like they have opened all of our eyes to is about experiences. And, buying a house, whatever you're doing, buying a car, going on a vacation, whatever it is these days, it's not about the act of doing it. It's about the experience of going through the process. Just like the saying, people don't always remember what you say, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And that's kind of goes in hand with our elevated experience with a team of specialists. So being the Ivy League of real estate and being the most educated and having the most designations where we specialize in everything from seniors to divorce. When people are going through a divorce and they have a home to sell, it's a tricky situation. So we've got experience with that as well. All right, I'm going to move on because I want to talk about something we did talk about this last week. It was supposed to happen today, but this weather and all the power outages, we decided to postpone it. But I'm not sure the exact date yet. I will get back to you. But Ryan Sirhant with Bravo's hit show, $1 Million Listing New York, he just had a new book come out called Big Money Energy. And the book is dissecting, talking about how to go big, how to make money, and how to have a lot of energy, and how all those things kind of tie together. Really great book. I enjoyed it. We do have Ryan. We're meeting with him. We're going to do a Zoom call. We can ask him questions, anything about the book, anything about real estate, anything about how to be successful. If you have questions you want to know, let us know. We'll mention those to him. But Ryan's book is great. We have over 100 copies that Ryan gave us to give to our clients and to someone that might be interested. So it's a great book. I knocked it out in 2 days, And even though I like to read, I'm not a super fast reader. I'll admit that. I've got other things I'm better at, but reading, I'm just a slow reader. Not slow to understand, but just a slow reader. And anyway, but we have lots of extra books, and it was a very quick read because it was very, very entertaining, very interesting. Let us know if you'd like a copy. All right, back to our main topic here at Bird's Eye View, Real Estate Northwest Arkansas. I'm Tara Limbird with Limbird Real Estate Group. You can check us out at limbirdteam.com. We're getting a lot of inquiries right now where people are just saying, what's my home worth? I just want to know. Because I guarantee if you haven't looked at 90 days, you probably need to because it's changed. The fourth quarter of last year, so October, November, December, real estate prices went up over 15% just in that one quarter alone. And prices are continuing to go up. We're in the month of February right now. February tends to be, no matter what kind of market we're in, February does tend to be a time where there's just less inventory. And it all goes back to the basic principles of economics. It's supply and demand. When the supply is low and the demand is high, each house that goes on the market is going to get gobbled up. We had a house we just listed in Fayetteville. I think it had 35 showings in the first 2 hours were scheduled. No, we received over 20 offers on the property, and they accepted one, and we have one as a backup. But that's kind of the market we're in right now. We're going to talk about next week. If you are a buyer, there's a such thing as called buyer fatigue. When you decide to purchase a home, you're deciding where to spend the next however many years of your life, where you're going to raise a family. There's an emotional attachment to that. And as you decide, this is it, this is the one, and you start planting where the bed's going to go, little Johnny's going to have this room, Spot the dog, oh, this is a great backyard for Spot, where's the TV going to go, all these sort of things, and you've mentally moved into this home, then you write an offer, and then you don't get it, and then this happens again and again and again. There's a fatigue where it's like, forget this, I'm out. Call me when the market's something completely different than it is right now. And totally understand that. But we're going to talk about buyer fatigue, how to win offers in this market so you don't get fatigued. But if you do, how to kind of get through that. Because it's tough. It really is tough. Now, the market we're in right now, like I said, if you've thought about selling at all or just curious about your home value, now is the time to do it. Here's the deal. If you're selling your home right now, your home is more than likely worth more than it's ever been. Now, that does mean if you're going to go buy a home, you're maybe paying more for the home than you would have 6 months or a year from now. So you kind of have to weigh those things out. Interest rates are still incredibly low. That's part of what is adding to this surge of buyers. Rates are still hovering around 2.5%, but they're expected to climb. And this happens every year around spring too, because as demand grows, those interest rates start going up. Now, if interest rates go up to 3.5%, you may think, who cares? It's 3.5%. 3.5% is great. And you're absolutely right. But just keep in mind, as housing prices trickle up and as interest rates trickle up, your payments and your buying power starts to shift. So right now at 2.5%, if the prices of homes have gone up, it's like, that's okay. I can still afford it because my rates are so low. But then rates went up and the prices went up both, then that may start looking a little different. So that's why it's important to weigh these options right now. But if you're a seller, a lot of our sellers are saying, man, I'd love to sell my house. In fact, we just had our Girl Scout cookies delivered, and our Girl Scout troop leader, she did say, hey, I need a virtual Zoom office. I'm working from home. My kids are going to virtual school. We need some more space. So she's looking at maybe they're just going to add on to their house. But maybe it might be something that you've thought about too, is so many people working from home and going to school from home. What's important to people has changed. You look at it over the last 12 months, and what's important to people in a home right now versus a year ago is much, much different. So if you've been thinking about selling your home and you're like, hey, I need to sell because I need something different. I want something different. But, hey, I know I could sell my house. The market's great. Where am I going to go? That's the problem because there are inventory shortages right now. Builders are in the process of developing neighborhoods. They're trying to get more lots. They're trying to build more houses to help with offset that shortage. But the problem is if every seller is thinking, oh my gosh, there's nowhere to go, so I'm not going to sell my house, then you're right, then we have a problem. But if sellers will put their house on the market and we can work with them or work with your agent, because guess what? You can have it on there. We're like, hey, I'll sell my house, but I want to rent it back from the buyer for the 30 days, 60 days, 90 days until I find the right house. Because the nice thing is, as we look outside and we see below freezing temperatures and snow, and it's hard to even grasp the fact that spring is around the corner, as the weather warms up, more and more homes will hit the market. So there may not feel like there's a lot of choices right now, but there are. So why not have the best of both worlds? You list your home today, the inventory level is still crazy low, you're going to get a great offer on your home, and you're in the driver's seat. We can put you in the driver's seat as the seller to get what you need and what is most important to you. Because maybe it's like, hey, yeah, price is important, but what's more important is where the heck am I going to live, right, guys? So let's rent it back for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it may be. You know, we haven't talked about this in a while, but our instant offer program. That instant offer program may work well. Because the thing is, if you do have a home to sell and you want to buy another home and you need to sell your home before you can buy that other home, when a house gets 20 offers on it and you write an offer and it's contingent on your home selling, but they have 19 other offers that don't have a contingency, it's going to put you in a point of weakness. So with the instant offer program, one of the things we can do is, hey, listen, at a max convenience, we're going to write an offer on your house. We'll buy it, and you set the closing date. So now you know it's locked down. Be done with it. The home is essentially sold, but you get to decide when to close. And when are you going to close? When we find you that other house, right? So there are ways around all this. So just keep that in mind. We're seeing a lot of offers right now that typically a home inspection is 99.9% of any home I've ever sold in 17 years has made it contingent on a home inspection. Well, guess what? Right now, a lot of people are waiving that as well because they're trying to put themselves in a point of a position to win the offer. So if you're selling a home, that's a great place to be too. So don't necessarily shy away from some of the reasons not to sell, because you know, if you take advantage of what is happening where, hey, listen, I can put my house on the market, I can get a negotiated offer where I decide when I'm going to move, I get a great price, I'm not paying someone else's closing costs, I don't have to worry about repairs. There's a lot to be said for that. That just doesn't happen in this market, or in real estate typically in general, when you live in Northwest Arkansas. Now, I get it if you live in California or wherever, and you know, you're used to a crazy market, but that's just not usually what we see here. But we are having a market like that now. All right, so that's a lot of what you need to know if you're a seller right now. It is a crazy market. It is it's almost like kind of walking through it blindfolded because it changes daily. So if you need some help, you just need somebody to talk to, you just need some advice, let us know. I mean, that's essentially what we do. So we can help walk you through what's going on. Again, we're Bird's Eye View Real Estate in Northwest Arkansas. I hope that helped you just a little bit to understand what's happening in the market. Again, next week, as a teaser, we are going to talk about buyer fatigue and different strategies that you can use to win your offers. And we have won a lot of offers for many buyers, and it's not easy. It is not an easy process, but we've got a few little tricks, and we're going to share those with you next week. So, alrighty, we do have an audience question. Haley from Bentonville, she said, what food could you eat for the rest of your life? Oh, goodness. It depends what mood I'm in. You know, I did say we just got Girl Scout cookies delivered, so, I might be able to eat Girl Scout cookies for the rest of my life, but follow back up with me in about 30 days. I might be tired of Girl Scout cookies. That being said, I have lots of extra boxes. If you need any, let me know. $5 a box. But other than that, I would maybe say tacos, just because I feel like you could do so many different things with tacos that I wouldn't get bored with that. So, of course, I could also eat chips and salsa, chips and queso, or anything with sugar in it. Yeah, so that might be it. We'll have to ask Nick what his would be. His would probably be pizza, maybe. Gonna go with that. All right, guys. Again, we're Bird's Eye View Real Estate Northwest Arkansas. Check us out at limbirdteam.com. You can go to our Facebook page. We also, if you go to our Facebook page too, there's a spot that says what's your home worth, or if you decided to sell, what would you net? Because that's really important. It's not about what your home would sell for, but it's how much money could you walk away with. There's a place, all you got to do is put in your email address and your address, and it's going to spit that information out to you. Now, it just kind of takes an overall view of what's going on in your neighborhood and within, a mile or so around you. So if you actually are very serious, let us know. I could take that information and kind of make sure that, because maybe your house, you've done some extra things to, or maybe you added on to it and that didn't show up, or you just got a new roof. There's lots of things about a home that could add value that maybe that these reports just won't show. But let us know about that. We also have a super cool program. Airbnb, heck, super hot right now. Airbnb, VRBO. We bought a home a couple years ago that we put on both Airbnb and the VRBO, and it's been amazing, especially with COVID. I think there's so many people that decided, hey, I want to get away this summer. I want to do something. But because of COVID, I don't want to travel super far. And so people are staying more together. Hey, let's go in, family from Nebraska and Kansas, let's all meet in Northwest Arkansas and go in together on a 3-bedroom home and stay for the weekend or a week. So that's been kind of cool. And with COVID, I think a lot of people, their comfort level to stay in maybe a hotel maybe isn't as high as if they're okay just staying in a home together with family and people that they know super very well. But anyway, that's something to think about too, because if you have been thinking about maybe even buying an investment home, the value, the return there is so great. So anyway, just want to kind of mention those things to you, and if we can help you with something along those lines. But one of the programs that we have, it's really cool, because if maybe the home you're living in right now, you're like, man, what if we turn this into an Airbnb? If you're interested, let me know. I'll send you an email, sign you up. It's free, super easy. You get it once a month. It'll show you how much equity you have in your home, how much, if you decided to put it on a VRBO type program, how much money it thinks you could get for that, and then how much if you decided to rent it out, whether it's two nights a month, 4 nights a month, how much money you would collect over the course of a year. Then you could say, hey, what if I apply that towards a principal? Great, sounds like a wonderful idea. It'll show you then how much your home, how much faster you can pay off your home. So lots of really cool options. We talked about being educated in knowledge is power. So the more knowledge that we can provide to you guys, my favorite thing to say is we're not the boss. You're the boss. All we want to do is arm you with a plethora of information so you guys can make the best decision on what's going to work for you and for your family. But again, it's Bird's Eye View, Real Estate in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Tara Limbird. Sorry, my co-host, Nick. He's a lot more fun. He's funnier than I am. So I'm sorry you guys got the short end of the stick today. But he'll be back next week for sure. And stay warm out there. We appreciate you guys. If there's anything we can do to help, let us know. You can also call us 855-755-SOLD. All right. Bye.